When I was a mother with young kids, I struggled with seasonal depression, and it kept me from being the energetic, creative mom I really wanted to be. I became determined to find something, anything that helped, and for the first time ever, I decided to turn to natural medicine, herbs in particular, which I knew little to nothing about. That's when I learned about St. John's wort. So I decided to give it a try, and to my surprise, it worked. It lifted that heavy seasonal fog. Today, my go-to support for seasonal depression is St. John's wort, the Perika brand specifically, along with omega-3s, a solid B complex, and of course, plenty of sun exposure and daily exercise to increase oxygen to the brain and body. I've shared this combination for years, and I've received so much feedback from people who tried it, people who told me it made a huge difference for them, and even saved a family member's life. But back then, realizing that St. John's wort was pulling me out of that seasonal abyss was a turning point for me. I was hooked on learning more about nature's medicines. I bought my very first herbal book. It was called Herbs for Health and Healing by Kathi, Keville, and I loved every page. Years later, after a series of stressful events, my health took an unexpected turn and I became chronically ill for over 7 years. And because the medical industry had no answers for me, other than suggesting an MRI and implying it was all in my head, and having people close to me in life suggesting that I, quote, just exercise, when I knew that that wasn't even close to the answer to what I was dealing with, I dove even deeper into natural healing. And that's when I stepped into an entirely different understanding of healing. Herbs will always be my first love, but I learned that nature provides layers of healing, many options for healing. There's homeopathy, which is an energetic-based medicine. There are peptides, which are incredible tools for regeneration and immune strength. There are essential oils, concentrated plant constituents with therapeutic effects. There are everyday foods like garlic, onions, and ginger, some of the oldest and most beautiful medicines on earth. There are targeted supplements, simple formulas that can shift the body in profound ways. And I learned that nature heals far beyond what grows in the ground. There are incredible therapies like red light therapy, oxygen and ozone treatments, acupuncture, and so many others that support the body in completely different ways. The deeper I went, the more I realized nature isn't limited to one path of healing. It's a whole ecosystem of solutions waiting to be tapped into and understood. Over the last 11 years of sharing natural wellness with others, I've used and recommended many of these tools in my own formulations and with my community. There are so many natural options out there, but I make sure that in the sea of natural wellness options, I'm focusing on the most effective ones, the ones that truly make a difference to one's health, the ones that matter. Natural healing doesn't begin with mastery, but it does begin with trying things out. Choose one option, whether it's an herb or a lifestyle change, and pay attention to any subtle changes you feel within your body. Your body remembers how to be well. Sometimes it just needs a little nudge in the right direction.